Guys. Yo. I've started this early because I'm just sat here, and to be honest, I just need it to end before I've even started. I am so ill. I put on Twitter in case anybody that follows me on there. I was going to do a live for the schedule for the fixture release at 12. I was going to do a live for that. Um, Obviously that didn't happen because I've just been absolutely borderline dying in my bed for an entire day. So anybody that's been in here before, I take hay fever tablets right 'cause I've got the worst hay fever ever. Like the worst. There's nothing that saves me. And I've had these new tablets, man. Goodness me. Goodness me. Like for real, they've killed me. They've actually just killed me for real. I've a little bit too much info here, but I've had treacherous shit all day. I think I've had 9 craps today. 9. And it's at that point now where it's just water. You know what I mean? It's not good. It's just not good. Anybody that's here for Championship or League One fixtures, whatever it is we're doing, anybody that's here for the League One transfers, apologies for this intro, but I'm just like letting the people know. So I feel like death. However, let's get in there. Let's get in there. There's one that's been announced just before I started, which is Carlton Morris has left Luton to go to Derby. I think the price is about £1.5 million, which really just isn't a lot, really, for what Carlton Morris is. He's scored so many goals since joining for Barnsley, because he never really scored loads of goals before that. He scored a few for Barnsley. He was coming off bench as well and playing heavy rotation because we had Ismail at the time. Obviously, we just rotated 6 forwards around. Luton has obviously got a lot of goals. I feel like Luton almost just know that this were coming. No, I mean, Luton fans, you knew this were happening, surely. It's not some big surprise. And I want to touch on this quickly as well. I'm not going to speak loads about it because we'll speak about it more in the Championship one tomorrow. A lot of people put the 3 sides coming down as heavy favourites, right? And rightfully so, because they're going to come down with a lot of money and inevitably like 3 at best sides. But all these teams do not start with the same 11 that they started the last game at Championship with. They're going to lose like 3, 4, 5 of the best players. You know what I mean? It's like the sides like Bolton or Huddersfield, sides that have been here for like, well, not so much Huddersfield, Bolton Barnsley, for example, sides that have been here for a little bit now, they don't lose the best players because everybody's crap. Do you know what I mean? You're not coming down and losing what is comfortably your best player, which is what Luton have probably done here. Also, I just want to say a quick shout out to my sponsor, Match Bingo, guys. Oh my god, yay! Love them, absolutely love them. Obviously, they're doing cards for Club World Cup now. Sorry, guys, I'm not selling it to you. I'm just not selling it at all because I'm dying. But yeah, come on, guys, we know how it works. It's like a bet builder mashed up. It's an alternative to gambling. So if you're 18 plus and you fancy a dabble, it's deposit 5, get 10 free. Happy days. But yeah, thank you to Match Bingo for the sponsor. Kiss. Oh, but that's that. We'll talk about that one mainly tomorrow on derbies. You think Ali's the best player? That's crazy. I genuinely don't even rate him that much, which might just speak about me more than anything, but I don't rate that Ali that much. I saw it like, where's Sheffield United in that looking at that Ali? Crazy. Genuinely crazy. Right, next. This is another big one. Another big one. Niall Ennis has gone on a permanent from Stoke to Blackpool. Now, a lot of teams do early business, and I feel like there has been a little bit more this week. It's been more exciting this week than it has everything else really put together. There's actually stuff starting to happen now. Teams have got the budget, you know what I mean? Players that are running to end of the contracts in June and then not signing. You're understanding that. You know what your budget is. And teams are starting to spend some money now and get some players in. And this is a very good one. Very good one. Barnsley flirted with this guy for so long. So long. Asgard. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Asgard's a good one. Cheers, Brighton game, mate. This Ennis is good. Very good. And I don't think it speaks volumes, really, the fact that this guy's not good enough at all for Championship. And if they have spent, what his market value is 700 grand, if they have spent that on him, it's wild for a player that isn't even good enough at division above anymore. But he's a good player. He is a good player. Now, Blackpool fans know they don't really need it saying, do they? But the fact they've got him on a permanent is very good. Very good business. Which, again, leads me to the next one, which is Honeyman to Blackpool as well. Blackpool have done some very good business early doors. Some very good business. They've obviously... Honeyman not here before. Because Steve Bruce has got some pull. They're bringing in some definitely some experienced players towards back end. Not a lot of these are going to have resale value that Blackpool have brought in already, especially like someone like this at 30 years old. Ennis is really only one that could maybe get a future sale out of. But if we look at the transfers that they've made so far, this is not a case of, and I know we go back to it all the time, but this is not Rotherham. I mean, Alfie, no, it didn't, mate. Not to my knowledge, buddy. No, I didn't. Sorry, guys. About that. I don't know why that's happened. Holy shit, I am dying. Yeah, this is not a case of Rotherham last year. Obviously, they brought loads of players in, but a lot of them were like, maybe similar to this in a certain extent, that they were all like very elderly players pushing for one last big payday, you know what I mean? And they're going to get it at a top League One club like Blackpool, one of your bigger sides in League One that's probably got a bit of brass behind them. So, to be fair, that makes no sense because Rotherham aren't a big club at all, in slightest. But they chucked loads of money at Clark Harris thinking that a striker could just like pick ball up and run past everybody and score. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh God, I'm sweating. I'm in struggle town, major struggle town, but I thought I'd just push myself through this. But I do like Blackpool's business. I really like Blackpool's business. Early doors. Obviously, they've lost Casey as well. Who were the best player by a mile, really, last season. And there's reports from people looking at that centre half. I forgot his name. He's good. I saw Sheffield United were linked with a centre back. I've literally forgot his name. I can't believe it. Obviously, that Pennington's gone to Bradford as well, which we'll talk about later on. But I don't think they've lost anything that ridiculous, really. Looking at the signings and the outgoings already, Blackpool. Bear in mind, it's literally still June. The stuff that they've done already, Blackpool are in a much stronger position than what they were team-wise, definitely. I'm going to go and look at how they ended season. Because weren't Blackpool quite good from January onwards? I'm sure second half of the season they started putting a little bit together. I'm going to have a look now. Form, 20 games. There was 7 for last 25 games. And 20. And they were a playoff side for last, like, yeah, more of the second half of the season they were performing as a playoff side. So, they might do something, you know. Blackpool are a side that I think should be taken seriously this season. I don't know what. I've got no expression. Sorry. Tinny Toast, a member for 1 month. What? Thank you very much, Red John. Kiss. Last 2 competitive games, Sheffield United aggregate 6-0. Next competitive game, Sheffield United away. Cannot wait. Yeah, you getting dicked, boy. You're going to get your ass handed to you. At half-5 on a Saturday and all, that just screams 3-0, Sheffield. Absolutely screams it. You're going to get dicked down, big style. I don't think Sheffield United will even be that good. It'll definitely beat your... I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm a Bristol City fan next season. Big Bristol City fan next season. With Struber at the helm, I believe. But thank you, Teeny Toast, my friend. Very much appreciated. Very nice of you. You're the man. Alfie may have been spotted in Blackpool. Don't believe that at all. If that's right, then fair enough, but I don't believe that at all. Going back to what I said about Luton at start. Cardiff, not so much. Cardiff are obviously much bigger than Plymouth and Luton are. So Cardiff maybe could retain some of the players. But they're still being linked with, like, O'Dowda on outwards. I still think someone will come up for that striker that they've got, Cardiff. But Plymouth are another side that are losing a lot of players. A lot of them. And a lot of Plymouth fans are saying as well that this isn't that bigger a miss. He started playing well towards end of season. Who cares? And that's fine. But 90% of Plymouth's team started performing well towards end of season. So you could just say that about every single player. You were crap first 6 months or first half of season. And then January onwards, again, similar to Blackpool, you started performing at a much higher level. Plymouth have lost the manager, lost this bloke, lost Hardy, lost Randall. Plymouth have lost the core. More or less every good player they had last season is gone. The majority of them. Plymouth are losing a lot of players. And I know they've got some money behind them as well. They've obviously got some money. The players I've seen them linked with are ridiculous. So I'm not daft enough to think that they're not going to go and spend money, especially when they're in Championship for a couple of seasons. So they get that money from that as well. Their attendances are quite good now, Plymouth, really. But they are losing a lot of players. Same as Luton. I don't think it's as easy as just saying, oh yeah, these are definitely going back up. 100%. Yeah, the bounce easy. Whereas I think you can for Championship in regards to Ipswich, because they've lost Delap, and that's probably going to be it, and they've kept the manager. Plymouth have lost the 3 best players, arguably, 3 of them at least, and the manager. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's a link that Plymouth have got, though, to a striker that I'm going to look at later on. So if they bring that in, happy days. And they must have some money behind them with the links that I'm seeing from Plymouth. But that is a loss. It's quite a big loss. Don't get me wrong, I still think they'll be top 6, probably fairly comfortably as well. But I don't think they're a given to just finish top 2, like people seem to think, with sides that come down immediately. I do think Luton are comfortably the strongest coming down. From a manager perspective, with Bloomfield as well, because we saw, I'm going to say it again, everybody saw what he did with Wickham. They were in front of the team that broke the EFL points record by spending 30 million quid. And Wickham Wanderers were in front of him for a large part of the season up until Bloomfield leaving. We know what he's like. He's going to get a major tune out of that Luton side. Luton again were a side that started playing well towards end. They obviously got tongued last game by West Brom, didn't they? But they were still playing better as season went on, similar to Plymouth. They just didn't have enough at end. But keeping the manager and still a decent core of the squad at Luton, as opposed to Plymouth losing all the good players, I think Luton are in a much stronger position than Plymouth and Cardiff put together, mate. I think Plymouth seem to think just because everybody obviously that's get relegated, they've obviously been promoted from at some point from League One. So they just come down thinking it's same as it were last time and you can take piss. But it's not. There's about 10 or 11 half decent sides in this league now. It's not what it was, so you can't just come down and take piss. Loads of teams spend money. Mate, Stevenage is spending money, for God's sake. Everybody's doing it. Oh, God. Christ alive. Confident on Cardiff going straight back up with Barry Murphy in charge now. I couldn't tell you. I honestly have got no idea about him. Absolutely don't. Huddersfield are heavy favourites for me. But I don't think Luton will be too far behind, really. Next. Right. I've given Peterborough a lot of shit. Like quite a lot. And don't get me wrong, it's definitely been it's been warranted. Let's not get it twisted, dog. It's been warranted. The amount of the lack of money that Peterborough spend in relation to the sales that they make and the money that they bring in is embarrassing. You know what I mean? That shit be embarrassing. Obviously, now that Poku is linked to go to QPR, they might have a couple pennies end at Rainbow, Peterborough, and this is an half-decent signing. From my understanding, it's supposed to be good. I'm not going to sit here and say I watched Bradford every week last year, because I'd be lying, wouldn't I? I'd be absolutely lying. But Bradford fans were quite gutted that they didn't come in and try and buy him as well. Birmingham, obviously, are on a different trajectory to what any other team really is. They're similar to Wrexham in terms of the fact that they've got loads of money without parachute payments, and they're moving too fast for their academy to catch up. Do you know what I mean? Birmingham's academy is good as well. Is it not Cat 1? Any team that's got a Cat 1 academy, mate, the players that come out of that academy and get first team minutes, I'm telling you for a fact, they're going to be half-decent players. You see it with, I always use Sheffield United as an example for this. They're bringing players like Arblaster and Peck that have come through their academy that are local lads. Birmingham do the same thing, but on a stronger level. Birmingham's academy is a Cat 1. Sheffield United's isn't. It borderline is because Sheffield United win the league every year in 23s and that. But you get my point. These players that Birmingham are losing, or that they're letting go, like this bloke, that Chang, the other guy, George Hall to Walsall, these are players that other sides would naturally just loan out and try and nurture him to get in the squad eventually. But Birmingham are just moving too fast. They're moving way too fast. They're on such a different level now. It's ridiculous. I do quite like this signing though. I do like it. It's very Peterborough, innit? Young lad, minimal experience, just chuck him in and hope he does a job. It is very Peterborough. But from what Bradford fans are saying, and Birmingham being not too disheartened, obviously, because, like I said, they're moving so fast. But he is a good player that's come through their academy, and you want to see them do well, naturally, at your own club, don't you? But it sounds like a player. It does sound like a player. Obviously, when Peterborough have sold every other living, breathing thing at club, it's not that good. But I quite like that signing. I'm not going to lie. I quite like that one. Okay. He's back. Guys, he's back. Again, to just abuse me non-stop. Better. Ha 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 ha. Give us the KD. Ha 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 ha. $2. Thanks, mate. Fucking hell. We're going to tell you what. That's the last thing that we're looking at. Because I think it's a good signing, Zach. Seriously, I think it's a good signing. Barnsley have signed somebody, guys, in case you didn't know. What? But yeah, we've actually signed somebody. So, happy days. But thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. Henry. Him. Oh my God. Gustavo's. Oh, wow. Henry, thank you for the £2, brother. As a Miller, we've had so many big players leave for a free in the past. We don't spend any money still. Should chairman go, or is it too risky nowadays, or we aren't an attractive club? You say that. I appreciate £10, by the way. That's just ridiculous. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it a lot. You say that about not being an attractive club, but are Wrexham an attractive club? Really? It is comfortably one of the biggest shitholes I've ever been to in my life. Easily. 3 seasons in Championship, I think. and that's it. They're historically a League Two side. Rotherham are bigger than Wrexham. Like, I know they're obviously non-league at time, and the FFP or lack of it helps. But I just don't think that's a thing. And not being an attractive club. Wickham have got ridiculously good owners now. Not me. I do think South York or Yorkshire in general is not an area that multi-trillionaires look at. But Barnsley's owners are worth £7 billion. So I mean, when our owners come in, they were worth multi bills to the point where we were richest in EFL by a mile. People with money coming to buy clubs wherever they are, you've just got to get lucky with if they're willing to spend, like, what the long-term vision is. I think Rotherham definitely need a new owner. Definitely. But it's almost just like, get in line, because you've got two neighbours next to you in Barnsley and Wednesday that are a much bigger shit show than you are. Oh, we're a joke. So why is South Yorkshire such a joke? I don't get it. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying, especially going back to first bit. You've had so many big players leave for free and passing. You don't spend any money. Barnsley don't spend money as well, and we make big sales. It's just the way some clubs work, mate. Unless you get lucky with an owner, it's just the way things work. But I appreciate the 10, mate, and I won't look at that at end that you're not an attractive club, because there's many that aren't. Do you know what I mean? There's many that aren't, and they've all got billionaires running them. You just got to get lucky. But I appreciate the 10, mate. Thank you very much. Brighton Gamer, another one. Thank you for the 10, mate. Boys, thank you so much. Very nice of you. Spend it all, yes. Boys, thank you very much. Brighton Gamer 07999 Kiss. How do you feel Brighton will do next season? Do you think we can improve on last season and get into Europe, or do you think it'll be a mid-table finish for us? I won't judge you, I promise. Can't lie, I've not looked into it too much, Premier League. It's just not, it don't excite me anymore, Prem. Whereas, like, Championship and League One, they get me tingling a little bit. Do you know what I mean? They get me bricked up a bit. But Premier League's just not been doing it for me. So I've seen that Newcastle want João Pedro, don't they? And to be honest, I've not got much of an opinion on Premier League yet, and I won't until we get much closer to it. Like, once we're near end of July, probably, then I'll start looking at it and taking it a bit serious and seeing what's happening. But it just doesn't excite me anymore, mate. I just can't lie to you. I cannot lie to you. So I feel shy that I've not got an answer for you, a real one. And if I did, it'd just be a guess. I can't remember. Where did you finish? Where did Brighton finish? About 10th? I think it was been in about same. I think it's hard to take that step. It's hard. It is hard. I know you're going to Europe once, but it's hard to take that consistent step unless you're a club that's built for it, really, like a Newcastle or a Villa, for example. They're built for it and they can probably get in there constantly. Whereas Forest, for example, will just inevitably fall down league table. West Ham did. I think West Ham could be built for it long term. He finished 8th. Oh, no, I think you could be slightly lower then. So you got to think, I know Man United and Tottenham are crap, and West Ham as well. But these are all like big sides that typically are further up league. So you've got to take that into account as well. How weak league were really, apart from like odd side this year. And there were a lot like, weren't there like only a couple points separating like Brighton, Fulham, Bournemouth? Weren't there loads of them sides around there? I think. I'd say you're probably going to be in around 10th, me. But I appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. Kiss. Very kind of you. Right, let's get on to the next thing. What we got? Oh, here we go. Another signing for Stockport. Not Stockport, for Peterborough. Zach, are you happy with this? Another signing for Peterborough. The Rona, even though he's blocked me for some reason when I've never interacted with him in my life, his tweets still come up. And I saw that he spent nearly £1 million this month for something on players. They've only brought a couple boys in. And they've spent £1 million on that Keeler and this bloke. Bloody hellfire. Long day. The longest day. The longest ever. Like, it were obviously good for him. It were good, you've got to admit. Hughes were good for Peterborough. And he probably wouldn't have made reasons to stay up because they were absolutely dog shit, Peterborough, for a lot of the season. Prem's definitely fallen in excitement. We need more shit house clubs like Portsmouth and Millwall back in Prem and get rid of like Bournemouth. Sorry, Cherries. You can't say that when you support Brighton, mate. I appreciate the 10 of it. You can't say that when you support Brighton. Respectfully. But going back to Hughes, I just don't... It's a good signing because obviously it works. It's a good fit for Peterborough. But this is a bloke that just didn't even get it Stockport side. They've been in League One once in about 15 years. Do you know what I mean? I just don't get where... I don't understand how some of these teams build such good squads to the point that Stockport, coming up from League 2, they were in non-league like 3 years ago. Coming up from League 2 into League 1, they finished like 4th or 5th or whatever it were. And they've already got players that aren't good enough for them. That a club like Peterborough, who've been in Championship not long ago, they've had multiple playoff losses recently. They've obviously had much higher finisher for Stockport for years and years. And he's one of the better players that Peterborough have got that's not good enough for Stockport. It's very odd. It's very, very odd. I do like it, really. Looking at it, though, I do like it because that's what it's a bit of experience for a Peterborough side that's obviously very young. And there's that other lad. What's his name? That Fernandez. Isn't he been linked to Rangers, which is ridiculous because I think he's shit and all. I don't rate half at Peterborough, boys. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really not going to lie to you. I still think they're in trouble. But bringing this Hughes in and that Keeler, two like decent signings. Maybe they've paid off at odds if their owner's coming out saying they spent nearly £1 million. But they're half decent. I'm a Stockport fan and Hughes was a great signing but couldn't get in. Rate him and good business. Got him on a free. Yeah, but like that's just testament to your higher up, like the higher ups at Stockport and how good of a job they're doing. You've just come out of nowhere from National League North all the way up to top end of League One. You're picking players up on free. Well, you always pick players up on frees, don't you? Constantly. And constantly get good fees for them. It's like, it's really not hard, I don't think, to pick up, to craft an half-decent playoff side in this league. I really just do not think it's hard. And Stockport just showed it straight away as soon as they come in here. But I do quite like it, I'm not gonna lie. For Peterborough's sake, I do quite like it. Right, this is quite a big one. This is quite a big one. Wigan have signed Dara Costello from Burnley. Now, his transfer value, or his market value, is 500 grand. He was obviously on loan at Northampton back end of season, and it was quite good for him. He's still a young lad, but I do feel like this is probably the majority of Wigan's transfer budget gone on one player. And stereotypically, Wigan have been crap up front for years. Honestly, they've not had a half-decent striker since Will Grigg or Kiefer Moore. They've not had good forwards in years. Absolutely years. And this is a good one. But they're bringing in a lot of players at once, you know, Wigan, in the same position. I mean, a lot. Like, all these players are going to be brought in thinking, well, I'm going to start. But you can't start Costello, Mullin, Sadie. The link to Michael Cheek at Bromley. Well, you're going to start 4 forwards as soon as you come in. Like, what? I know Cheek could probably come in and just come off bench and probably just score tappings for fun. But that's a lot of play. They've strengthened in one area of pitch and that's it. But they're ignoring, like, the midfield's weak, Wigan's. The midfield's very weak. Defensively, they're all right, but I think it does largely come down to Tickle being in net. I do think they could have invested a little bit in middle. Obviously, they can go and get some loans still. It's 26th of June. And I do like the signing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like the signing, because I do. I just think they've spent a lot of money on this. It's definitely not most of his budget. We've got about £2.5 million from Philo and Hughes sales. I'm not being funny. Why? Where's Bowser's money? Hello? I'm going to say it again. £13.5 million since we got relegated to this shithole. And we spent about 2 max. I wish our logic was, well, if we sell someone for 5 mil, we're going to go and spend 5 mil. What the bloody hell's going on? What the bloody hell is going on? Cheek's not joining. Oh, right, fair enough. But still a lot of strikers in at once. I like this. Don't get me wrong, I like it. And loads of good manager as well. Loads of good manager. Wigan will be higher than what they were this season, definitely. You think they've overpaid for him? Even as a Northampton fan? That's strange. Probably really good for you. I thought it was good. But yeah, Donny have made some good signings as well. I can't speak on them though, really, because I don't know anything about them at all. So I've got nothing really to say on the Donny signings that they've made. But Wigan definitely be higher than last year. But I still think they're way off top 6. Like, way off. Future, who knows? If Lowe sticks around for a bit, eventually probably build a squad that could get him out of there. But when you're getting 4,000 people at home games, you're never really going to have enough money to build on it. You know what I mean? Some big old clubs in this league now. Some big old clubs. Sour grapes, Costello is great. The last thing Barnsley need is a striker. We've got best one in league and done. Why would I have sour grapes, bro? What do you mean? Jesus. Some grapes up your ass. Right, next. Man's banging, man. Ooh, this keeper on loan to Bolton. He was on loan at Donny last season. Obviously, a title-winning goalie from League 2. Naturally, the next step is to go to top end at division above that. So I understand the loan from Chelsea's perspective. It's just one of 40 keepers that Chelsea have got. He's never, ever going to play for him. So I don't know why they don't just sell him, to be honest. He's never, ever in his life going to get a Chelsea cap from like now to the rest of time. So I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know why or what point of being that. Oh, this Northampton fan of sour grapes. All right, Ted, I retract my words. I will not shove grapes up your ass. Apologies. But this just speaks highly to like how much they don't rate certain areas at pitch. Bolton with players that they've got. They didn't offer Baxter a contract for a start. Baxter was seen at one point as one of the best keepers in this league easily. Same as a lot of Bolton players, to be fair, that have just fallen off a cliff. But he was seen as one of the best players. One of the best keepers in this league for a long time. Obviously, they brought that Luke Southwood in from Cheltenham. Who, same again, he were very highly rated. But they must not rate either of these keepers because they've released Baxter and they're not interested in having Southwood as the number one. So it's never-ending poor recruitment, really, or not selling at right time, maybe, from Bolton. But they've had a lot of players that have been very highly rated. Like, they've sold, obviously Santos has gone, but they could have got a lot more for Santos at one point. They could have got loads for Sheehan, one of years, because he was very good at one point. They've, like, obviously, Aaron Collins gone to MK Dons, he was very good. Dion Charles went to be fair, they got a decent fee for Dion Charles, really, with like what he is. But it's just poor recruitment, poor sells, I think, for a long time with Bolton. It got a lot better as he got more game time. His distribution is ridiculous. Well, that's good. It's good from a Bolton perspective. I think they'll be up there this time, mate. I do think they'll be up there. I really, really like Schumacher and what he did with that Plymouth side in first place. Next, done deal. Matthew Pennington from Blackpool to Bradford. I think this is just a bit of a reality check for Bradford that you're not going to be challenging near top end of this league, right? Let's get out of the way nice and early. You're not going to be challenging at the very top of this league. Matthew Pennington were a good player for Blackpool. He was good for Shrewsbury before that. I think he was at Shrewsbury, but he was a good player. Obviously, at Blackpool, they failed this season, really. I think, what did they finish? Top half, maybe scraping it. And they did finish season quite well. But he was never a nail-on starter for Blackpool. And now he's going to come into Bradford and probably start every week and be one of the best defenders. So it's the priority for Bradford is to be away from a bottom four. Do you know what I mean? It's to be away from a relegation scrap. But any Bradford fan thinking that you're going to be challenging at the top of this league, you're lost. You're miles off it. Miles. Don't get me wrong, you'll have a decent year and I think you'll stay up comfortably. But, nah. I know I said, to be fair, I come out and said that my 3 underdogs, one of them were Bradford. And I stand by it. But define underdog. Do you know what I mean? Define underdog. Because it's all relative, innit? People are just going to think 4 sides coming up, yeah, they're going to be all in a relegation battle. Bradford definitely aren't. They're definitely not. They'll probably be in and around like 14th-ish. If they bring in players to the standard of Humphreys in other positions, then who knows? But this is a cast-off from a side that were nowhere near playoffs really last season, at 30 years old, that's come in and started. It's a good signing, but I'm just saying it as a reality check. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying it to get a point across that Bradford won't be near top end of this league. Respectfully. Honestly, I'm sweating. Can you see me? I'm sweating. But I want to say, let me just say again, actually. I do quite like it. I still quite like it. It's a good stopgap. It's good for the short term, which is that you're going to stay up fairly comfortably. And that's, realistically, first checklist for Bradford next season. I don't know, 50 points, just stay up for God's sake. Just get enough points to stay up. And as soon as you've got past that, happy days and just keep looking at it a little bit more. And then once you've been in League One for a bit with the attendances and stuff like that, Bradford, if they stay in this league, if they can stay up first couple of years, naturally, eventually, they will just go up a little bit. But for right now, I think about 4 teams, fair enough. Next, Taylor Allen is heavily linked with a move to Wickham. He is a midfielder for Walsall last season. Is announced. The timing of that is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, okay, so it's not a rumour, guys. Taylor Allen has gone to Wickham right now. I like that signing. I really do. I mean, it's the direct replacement for Humphreys in it. Wickham had a lot of either loans in important positions. Pardon me. Or players that are definitely, very likely to leave as well. And middle at Parkway, Humphreys is one of them. So that's just a nice 1 in, 1 out, early doors. If the fee is what it was, transfer value is 250 grand. If it is that, very nice. Very nice. Because he looked good for Walsall in play. I thought in playoffs they both looked good. Im and Chan in middle for Walsall both look quite good. I liked them both. And I do like this signing. They need some centre-halves desperately. Wickham do. Desperately. Obviously, they missed out on Powdy O'Connor. They missed out on Sonny Bradley. And the three players that they had last season, starting at centre back, Wickham, was Joe Lowe, who's gone on a free to Huddersfield. Sonny Bradley, who came in on loan in January and has gone to Lincoln on a free. And Caleb Taylor, who were on loan, well, more or less all season. He went back for a little bit and then they loaned him again. And he were on loan from West Brom. So the three best centre-halves are all gone. No, wait. It's a midfielder. I thought Taylor Allen was a midfielder. Am I going crazy? I swear on my life, I thought this bloke played as a 6. I'm lost. I swear in playoffs he played in midfield. I swear. Swear down. Well, regardless, if he's a centre-half, whatever, he's a good player. Like, if he plays midfield, centre-half, I couldn't care less. Look at Stay to me, don't care. He drifts into midfield in possession. See, thanks, Sam. Thank you. Thanks for that one. See, Sam's backed me up. You can all shut up. In fact, you know, I'm going to put that on screen just to fuck you all off. Look at that. He drifts into midfield in possession. Have that. Have that, you dogs. Honestly. These guys think they can just come in and... Ugh. Weird guys. Next. Obviously. I'm well off it. Obviously, with the striker leaving Plymouth, I saw him linked with Kelman. I saw did they put a £1.5 million bid in and they turned it down? QPR. I think they put a £2 million bid in and they turned it down. Where have these teams got so much money from? Like, where have these teams got so much money from? At the start of this transfer window, Kelman were linked with Sheffield United, Bristol City, and someone else, like a top championship side. How is he now being linked back to League One? He's never in a million years a League One striker. He should be starting for QPR. 100% he should be starting for QPR. Honestly, I don't know where, like... I don't know who QPR think they are. They've got a very good squad, don't get me wrong. But people always come with argument of, oh, but he's never scored a goal at Championship. Oh, God. Well, I'm not being funny. Neither is Coney at Wickham. Neither is Davis Keeler-Dunn at Barnsley. And they're comfortably the best two strikers in the league. Easily. As Taylor, Huddersfield striker? Don't think so. Like, your best strikers in the league haven't scored goals at division above. It means nothing. Give the bloke a chance. He's 23 years old. He scored 25 goals last season. 25 goals. If someone knows where net is at that age, I'm sorry, they're going to be a good player. It'd be ridiculous for QPR to let him go in first place. But if he comes back to League One, I know I said everything about Plymouth, like losing a lot of the players. If he goes to Plymouth, they're winning league. I'll put that right now. Right. And then it's only natural. I've got two things left to talk about because I can feel my ass rumbling and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to shit myself if I stay on for another like 10 minutes. I need to go this quickly. Huddersfield, heavily linked with Owen Goodman at Palace. That looks more or less like it's done anyway. We're really good at Wimbledon last year. Added to the players that they've already brought in, Horsfall, Ledson, Harness. They've brought in some stupid players. But if they go and buy Nathan Lowe and Galbraith, then we might as well all just pack up and go because it's ridiculous. Absolutely stupid the amount of money that Huddersfield have got. And then finally, last but not least, well, last and least really, because I can feel my bum rumbling, is Nathaniel Ogbita from Plymouth to Barnsley on a loan because we're tight bastards. Now, Plymouth fans are saying he's crap. They were on loan at Bolton and they're saying he's crap. Everywhere he's been, they're saying he's crap. The common theme is that he's very good going forward, but he's crap at defending. Which we're going to play back four. He's a left back. We're going to play back four. By sounds, we've got two left-footed centre halves in Earl and Shepherd. None of us right backs can defend anyway. So we're just going to be playing such gung-ho football. We're going to shove so many men forward. I'll tell you what, Barnes are going to be an exciting watch next year, that's for sure. Because we're going to have none of us midfielders can defend. They're all slack. We're going to have two centre halves, a goalie, and everybody else is going to be stood up front. Everybody else is just literally going to be... We're going to be attacking non-stop. It's going to be exciting, which I'm looking forward to. And at the same time, if he's got a year left on his contract, and if he's half decent, he'll run out. Boys, my asshole's going to erupt. Thank you for the donations. I appreciate it very much. Anybody that's watching, love you all. Thank you. Apologies that it's a short one, but I'm about to bust.